Yeah, I've used the words that I'm sick fed up of it, and I'm sick fed up of it. I am, and the fact that that's your opening question and you asked me it the way that you have done, I'm looking every single one of you in the eye here, and we're all seeing this the same way. I think it's completely unacceptable that in our game at the top flight that you brandish a red card for that instant. And I think what compounds it and makes it even worse is that you get the opportunity to look at it again. You've been sent to the monitor, and I start to laugh at it, almost out of boredom, almost out of complete frustration of the fact that we've been told that we've had 3 incidents wrong in our last 5 games, 2 penalties, and 1 a head knock in the opposition box, and Dundee break and score a goal. I've said it to I'm blue in the face. I accept that. I've accepted the explanations. I've accepted the fault. But when I come to a decision like that, and you know what, I don't say this loosely, I don't say this cheaply. I've been involved in this game as a player, a coach and a manager for a long, long time. That's easily up there in my top 3 of worst decisions that I've ever seen in a game that I've been involved with, and quite frankly in a game that I've watched.
I mean, just ask Derek McInnes here, they say it's the kind of thing that a lot of referees would just say, "Get on with it," to the 2 players.
I genuinely think that there's a handful of referees in this country. They get the 2 players together and say, "Come on lads, let's go on with the game." I voiced my concern in my own head. I never said it publicly, but I voiced my own concern with the same referee who we had a couple of weeks back against Ross County. I told everybody after it, and it wasn't for a statement, it wasn't to try and make a point, but there was over 60 minutes of dead time in a game of football. I didn't enjoy it. I spoke to Don Cowie after it. He sure as heck didn't enjoy it. He only enjoyed the fact that his team won the game. We had travelling supporters, home supporters, and we weren't enjoying the game. It's not a spectacle. It's not, the game doesn't have a chance to flow, and I felt that that's exactly what it was here again tonight. Stop start constantly. Now, absolutely, I feel like I'm going down a different rabbit hole here. We can play better. We can play better in the game without question, but I think what will allow that for both teams to play better is that the referee actually starts to let the game flow. There's far worse contacts, far worse challenges. It wasn't a dirty game of football tonight, and we find ourselves with a red card. The referee gets himself off the pitch as quick as they possibly can. We've been waiting for an opportunity to try and ask a question, but when you get sent over to that monitor quite clearly because everybody else sitting in that room feels that it's wrong and it's inaccurate, then you get your chance to watch it, and at the point I'm standing behind them and I've already been given heads up by the Kilmarnock bench that this is overturned. It's not, it'll be a yellow card and we'll just move on.
Just on VAR generally, obviously Scottish football's not flush with money, but clubs are having to pay a good bit to have it in the game when decisions go to VAR tonight, and it's so clear that it's not a red card but it's not been overturned. To make you question the use of technology in the game?
Massively, but again, if that was the case and there was no VAR tonight, the referee thinks that he's seen an incident that's a red card, so Dan Casey's still going to be red carded. We're getting opportunities to come over and have a look. We're getting opportunities to tell people to come over and have a look, and missing those. I think Derek's right. It was the wee conversation there. The level of inconsistency, depending what referee you get and who turns up for the game, is quite incredible. And I've went openly and said that my most enjoyable games of football this season's been our cup games that have had no VAR, and we've agreed with the other team that we would rather play the game without it, because we just feel that the game flows a bit better and you'll take your chances on what comes with instance in the game. We've not discussed it yet, but I'm sure you can work out that we're going to go down that route. Our social media guys, our media guy just behind you in Scott, he's told me that I'm not one for social media, but he assures me that this is something that's trending, not just in Scotland but worldwide, because fans of the game of football will be looking at that and laughing and scoffing. They will be, there's no question about it.
I mean, these decisions sort of can cost teams points, places in leagues and all that by the end of the season. I know you've spoken about the communication with Willie, Collum being better, but at what point does that almost feel a bit pointless if this is still happening after the sort of week of scrutiny referees have had?
Well, it does, and the one that's kind of been swept under the carpet was, I say it's swept under the carpet, I don't mean that, but it was the foul on Steve Seddon here last week. They would have given us an opportunity to go 4-1 up in the game, and we don't send the referee over the monitor. It's conclusive in my mind that it's a penalty kick. So of course these things that game finishes 4-3, you have a chance to go 4-1. We're 1 each with Dundee, we're 0-0 with Ross County when these incidents have happened, so they're pivotal. I won't make excuses, but what I always look for is black and white, and what I look for is the order of fairness, and we're looking at some of these things, and especially that one today, and that's the outcome of it. I think we have a serious problem, and what we'll end up doing, I love football as much, if if not more than most. I dedicate my life to it, but I actually find myself completely scunnered standing at the side of the park when I start to see things like that, and I've had no opportunity to look at it again.